All right, here is Toni Weel with Sara, my co-host from Virtuous Unicorns. I'm from Florida. I think Sara is still in Ohio. And I have beautiful, sunny, gorgeous weather. Is it getting cold there yet, Sara?
Hold on. Sorry, I'm not on mute on the other one real quick.
You are not on mute. I was asking if it's getting cold there in Ohio yet.
No, sorry, I was on mute. I was not on mute with the YouTube yet, so I didn't want to have back feed. Actually, we've been having beautiful weather in Ohio, so I guess it's going to be getting cold though soon. So we went, it was very cold, and then now it's been very warm.
So
So now we're
what
going to
is
be
all
going
that?
back.
Yeah, what is all that drama about the nasty weather and the snowstorms and particularly when it was going to go over Ohio?
Yeah.
I think
Must
okay,
have
you're
skipped right
probably
on over us. I prayed really hard and
oh good.
but I'm probably going to get paid back next week.
You know what? I always think if I pray for something, that I will not be, and people here would not be damaged by a storm. And I'm also thinking, well, that still means that other people get damaged by a storm. So
Yeah.
I'm always careful with that, with those kind of prayers.
And when I pray like that or I go into meditation, I just try to imagine like golden light and like a bubble surrounding us all, and that the storm does happen, but somehow we're all protected.
Yeah,
Just that kind of
that would
stuff.
be,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be amazing. I would like that. It's because it is, I like a good storm. I love it.
Hmm.
I see the rain go horizontal one way and then 5 minutes later the other way. It's exciting, but I
It
don't want
is.
any damages or anyone hurt.
Exactly.
I do like the forces of nature at times, for a good strong breeze or a hard rain. I don't know what it is, but it is always cleansing.
So, I mean, there's mixed emotions there. Like, is the weather really our true weather?
Yeah.
So where's it
Yeah.
really coming from? But yeah, I mean, if it's coming from God and it's natural and it's what we're supposed to have, then absolutely. But if it's something that's being drummed up by some machine somewhere, then I don't know.
Yeah, very true. And you don't really know. So, but it's always, you don't want people get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes. No, for sure. I do. I even like watching like the Weather Channel and stuff like that and just kind of seeing the sheer force of the weather. But again, I mean, is it natural from God or is it something that's created? We don't really know. But I think we're all in awe of what it can be and what it can do. But we all wish the same, that everybody is safe and okay. So,
yeah.
yeah.
So
But
we got through another week again. And for me, I have family from the Netherlands over.
it's
And
wonderful.
so we are doing a lot of sightseeing.
Yeah, you went traveling this past weekend too. So,
Yeah, and there's going to be more travel. I decided to opt out from Universal. Uh,
mm-hmm.
she can go there with my husband, but we still have you have Buck Towers here in Florida with
Yeah.
pretty gardens. And of course, you're in Florida, you have to go through the to the swamps and
Mm-hmm.
on the lakes with an airboat. Noisy as hell, and it scares the animals. I have to admit, I do still like it. And then in a few days, we go to the manatees, and then we go on the really quiet, I think it's an electric boat that goes through the mangroves. So that would
That's
be nice.
nice.
And then it's
Yeah.
the beach in Clearwater Beach and Sunken Gardens in St. Petersburg.
Oh, geez.
If you're ever in
Nice.
St. Petersburg, that is such a relaxing area, the Sunken Gardens, and it's rather cheap going there. It's beautiful.
Wow. That's very nice.
So when you always think, well, what is there to do here in Florida? It's not that much. But when it comes to it, and you start looking at it, it's like, oh my gosh, we just spent, almost 2 days in St. Augustine
Yeah.
and the history there. And
St. Augustine's
yeah,
beautiful.
it is absolutely, it's very nice, and it was relaxing. So
Hmm.
Yeah, and Daytona Beach, of course, been a motorcycle rider my whole life. Yeah. And this was just a short one. We only were there a few hours, and we were like, okay, well, we've seen it now. We've showed her. She's seen it. Now we can move on. We go to St. Augustine.
That's so great. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we were through St. Augustine last year and it was very nice, but it was very crowded. So we just kind of passed through and we did get out and look at some nice stuff. But I always love going and touching to the beach
The best
anytime I get
time,
near.
yeah, whenever you are there, the best time is go early. All these
Yes.
tourists, they don't wake up until noon. So
Got to get out
it
early.
was,
The same with the beach.
yeah,
We always
when we
go
were
out early
walking
at
around
sunrise.
there, when we were walking around there, it was great until, until noon. Then you started, people are waking up. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it is, and sometimes, even you would say, what does this have to do with health? But you know what? Enjoying yourself has everything to do with health.
Mm-hmm.
And it may be something silly as Universal Studios. I love Harry Potter. What can I say? It's
Right.
like you get into a magical world that you've never been in, and you can read about it, but a little experience. I've been there, so I experienced it already a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's absolutely fun, and these are the things that I bring it up because it helps us heal. It helps us with moving forward. You need to do things and that you enjoy. If you're
Mm-hmm.
sick and you're not feeling well, it is so easy to stay in that pain and not doing anything. And I have had my moments, that I just sit in a recliner the whole day and like feel like doing nothing. It happens to all of us, but we have to get out of that mode. We
Mm-hmm.
have to, even if it's little things, you go into your yard or yeah. I have a
Yeah.
crazy thing when every time I'm fasting, I'm always looking at recipes or looking at cooking shows.
Yep.
I don't know what that is. I heard other people do that too. I'm not the
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the only one. I'm not that.
It's like when you're withholding from something, then that's when you want it even more.
And when you are aware that you are withholding from it,
Yes.
but the moments I often come back to the fasting, the water fasting, that can be so easy that you don't even think about anything food. And those when I do that, I don't have any interest in the cooking shows. But when I'm on juices of only fruit, I don't know what it is. And I look at stuff that I would never eat.
Well, that's funny.
Well, it
Oh
it
my
is
gosh.
it is also fun to share the crazy things that we do because I'm sure other people have that too.
Hmm. Yeah, and I mean, it's a whole experience. It's not just what we eat, but it's how you live your life, how you look at things, how you deal with stress. Everybody has all those things in life. So, what do you do to ground? What do you do to find happiness and joy in your life every day? Yes, it can always be that I just go outside and I see the sun came up today. I'm grateful. I'm basking in the sun. That is all that I need. But a lot of people, they need a lot more than that, especially in the beginning. You need a little bit more like spice or something to kind of help bring up your energy levels as well too. So going to the beach or going to amusement parks or doing things like that, as long as you're doing all these things virtuously, I don't see anything wrong with that. And the other thing I was going to mention too is, have you heard of it's the Federal Parks Pass, I think is what it's called. And you can go to like all the federal parks.
Yeah,
I think it's called America the Beautiful.
yeah, yeah,
If you're disabled, you can get it for free,
yeah.
and military, active duty, you get it for free. Those kinds of things, and you get into all the parks, if not free, at a very discounted rate. But we've used it in 3 parks already, and they just say, "Okay, go and enjoy." And we just drive right in.
That is
So,
nice. That is a good thing to know.
yes.
It's
Um, Yeah, it's like Katie, Grant, Dave, Ingrid, they're all here, and Katie is looking for the link to join.
Oh
I didn't
yeah.
see it at the top. Yes.
Yeah, you have it, but I will put it in. I totally forgot.
I don't know
Yeah.
how to pin to the top, if anything, but I
That
could
is
put a link.
yeah, that is on the right side. You have these three dots, and
Okay.
but let me do that right now.
Yeah, I know Katie has been, I think, traveling. I'm not really up to date on where all Katie has been or where she is, so it'd be
Yeah,
interesting to hear her
lot of
journey.
traveling.
That's good.
Pin message. It is done.
There
And
you go.
at the top, so whoever wants to join it. Oh, I see
Yeah.
Grant is here. Ingrid from the Netherlands. Katie. Thank you guys for
And
being
Dave.
here. Last week we missed you all. We
Oh,
were
and
like,
Lisa.
yeah, are we here by ourselves? Hi, Lisa.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. I mean, these hours once a week. Sometimes we have very important things to talk about. Other times it's like we just talk about things that come up, and
Mhm.
they're still important. They're still important things to
Absolutely.
talk about.
Yeah. There's also places called dark sky parks, which I have not looked into it yet, but I did see. And what they are is they are parks that are preserving the night sky to where we've had lots of light pollution. And if you go to darksky.org, you can find all of these. I think it's just the United States, but it might be worldwide. And you can go to these parks where you can actually see the sky, what it looks like without the light pollution.
Oh, that is nice.
Yes.
I haven't here in Florida. We usually stay inside as soon as it gets dark because there are a lot of mosquitoes. They do leave
Yes.
me alone, but they totally attack my husband.
Oh,
So,
let's
I
see. Okay, I
haven't,
just posted that link too.
yeah, I haven't seen the stars in way too long. It's a good reminder.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think we have somebody joined us. Katie. Can you hear us, Katie?
Katie is muted now.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
shoot.
Oh,
Hi,
there you
everyone.
are. Hey.
I joined. Okay, so in South Dakota, I joined at 11:11.
Oh,
Isn't
that's
that
cool.
so cool? I love that. And I'm so excited to be here. I finally get to catch a live. I've caught a couple here and there, but I couldn't stay for the whole show. But I've been keeping up, having to listen to recordings. But no one is here in the house, so it's pretty quiet. And so I thought, oh my gosh, it's the perfect time to join. And I loved what you guys were talking about. Toni, you were mentioning how we kind of get stuck in a rut and, we just don't want to do anything, and how we just need to go within or, find a way to get out of our rut. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's been me for the last 60 days. There's been a lot of transitions going on. And so I just wanted to speak a little bit about that. Because so 90 days ago, I returned home from a 3-week trip to Mexico. And when I was there, it just became very obvious that Matt, who I love very, very much, my husband, God works in mysterious ways, but he was like, Katie, even though you love him so much, this isn't going to work. I'm calling you to go a different direction. And even Matt felt that. And so after my return trip, 30 days after my return trip, we agreed to file for divorce, and it got finalized on Monday, October 23rd. And we both still love each other very much, but we support one another. He's supporting me in this path. The last 60 days has been very tough for me because, and I'm sure most of you can understand this, but how do you leave someone that you love so much?
Mm-hmm.
And sorry. Anyway, but then you get stuck in this rut and you focus on leaving instead of focusing on what God is being grateful for what God has called you to do. And you focus on, what you're going to miss instead of being grateful for what's to come. And, you just get stuck in these ruts of the fear and the sadness and the not knowing. And so I took 60 days, these last 60 days to, spend as much time as I could with my family and my friends that are here in South Dakota. And then, but also just to go within and really, focus on what is God calling me to do? And while I have some answers, I don't have them all. Yeah, and just surrendering to whatever it is that He wants of me. And but yeah, there have been moments, Toni and Sara, where I have had to just say, "Buckle up, Buttercup," and get out of that chair or get out of the house to just have that self-talk of you are being in fear, or this is without God, you're acting without God, and your goal has always been God number one, so you need to switch it around and get back to being God number one. So anyways, I just really appreciated you sharing that today, because that's what I've been going through the last 60 days. And so just wanted to share that.
So where are you right now?
So I'm in South Dakota still. I'm still at the house with Matt, and Matt has said, "Katie, you can stay here for as long as you want." I, however, feel that I am being called to travel a little bit. I have been traveling the last 60 days. Toni, you've got my postcards everywhere I've gone.
Yeah.
And, I want to keep in contact with those addresses that I have. Sarah, I would have sent them to you, but I don't have your address. Anyway.
I'll have to get to you.
Yeah, give it to me. And I'll start sending you postcards. And anyone else here, if you can find a way to get me your address, I'd love to send you updates. So at first I was looking on where do I want to land, and I thought maybe there was a place in Asheville that I wanted to go to, and I found an apartment, and then the apartment is a little bit more expensive than what is in my budget. And so then I thought I'd get a job and things like that. But then when I was there, I realized that they strongly support things that I don't support, and they have activities that I am not for. And I thought, Katie, that's just not an area that you need to be around, or a frequency or energy that you need to be around. And so then I'd go to another place, and then I'd go to another place, and I was just like, yeah, nothing feels like home or a place where I'm supposed to land. And these places that I visited, there's no Freak Sense family members there. And I'm kind of like, it would be nice to be around a Freak Sense family member, just so that I am not physically alone. I'm with someone. And so then I thought that I would travel with a Freak Sense family member who's currently living in his van, visiting other family members. So I might hook up with him. I might not. We'll see. But other than that, I just think there's a Freak Sense family member. There's a lot in Florida, so I'm going to come to Florida for sure. But I'm trying to decide, do I start up in Pennsylvania and work my way down and then west, or do I start west and work my way east and then north? So I'll just wait until go time, and my go date is November 9th. And as I get closer to November 9th, I'll know where to start my journey. So if anybody needs a little visitor, I'd be happy to come and visit you.
You can always come here.
I know. I was telling Matt that
right now, all my beds are occupied. But my family is leaving next week, Saturday. And we actually set up a bed in my office, a nice day bed. So everything can always be worked out. Now, I don't know if you are in the fans group, but Lou Del Mar she's also a health coach, and she asked me if I knew anyone who wanted to be her roommate for she's in Mexico, and she is about a few hours north of where Colleen lives. They have a beautiful house. They do. Her husband is a raw vegan. You can't say cook, chef, but I don't know if she already has someone, and she didn't really want to put it in. She didn't put it in a group. She asked me personally. So it is like if that would be something that you wanted to stay for a few months, that would be an option.
Toni, we need to talk. We need to talk, because when I was in Mexico, I fell in love with Mexico, and I would go there. I would go there yesterday. That's how much I loved it there.
If you go on Facebook, look up Lou, L-U, Del, D-E-L, and then M-A-R, Lou Del Mar. And
Perfect.
You will find her, and you can just ask if she still has room available. And the rent was low. I think it was $400. So,
okay. Thank you so
and
much.
there was somebody else, and I have to look up who that was. They wanted somebody and staying there actually for free, but do some little work around the yard and such. But I forgot who that was. And I think it was also Mexico. I have to look that up.
That is what I was going to say too, Katie. When the time comes, things will fall into exact place, exactly how and where you're supposed to go. And the fact you called in today and said what you said, and then now here's a link. It's like a bridge has now been put in place for you.
I know. And I called in at 11:11.
There you go. And the next thing I was going to say too, which is one of my favorite quotes from the movie The Night at the Museum, when Teddy's talking to Larry, when Teddy says, "You've done your job. It's time for your next adventure." And Larry says, "I have no idea what I'm going to do tomorrow." And Teddy says, "How exciting."
Oh, nice.
We don't need to know.
That's exactly how I feel, Sarah. That's exactly, I'm excited. Very excited. So
and
thank you, ladies.
Growth usually always hurts. So, and, nothing is ever the end. It's always, you just have no idea where things are going to lead. And by you staying and by you working with your family, by you working with Matt, I mean, maybe your relationship is stronger. Your love for each other is stronger. You have no idea what the future holds. But what you did, I feel in my heart, was the correct choice by taking the time to decide, by being open and honest. You've been virtuous the whole entire way through this. And it's the way. And even if it hurts now, we have no idea what tomorrow holds or what the next adventure holds. All you can do is, like I said earlier, be virtuous about it, which you are, and God will lay out the path for you.
Thank you, Sarah. And that is something that Matt and I have had many discussions about, because the separation between the two of us is, we feel like it is not a separation that is like any other. And it has been very virtuous on both sides. And we have agreed to continue that moving forward, because we both know, he is awake to some things, just not all things. And so he knows that there is a new earth and that we are responsible for that new earth. And he realizes that I play an integral part of it, because he has seen the changes that he has made due to my new education and then my teaching to him. And so he will say to me, and he will say, we get to define what this divorce, or we don't even call it a divorce, but that's what everybody understands it as. We get to define what it is for us, but also get to define what it looks like to others when you are being virtuous. Our love for each other just doesn't end just because somebody is being called a different direction. So it's been a beautiful experience, hard. and things like that. But it also has been where you can recognize the beauty in it and be so grateful for it. Thank you, Sara.
Absolutely. And this is all part of healing, and this is all part of the journey. And this is, like we said earlier, it's not just about food. It's your mental state, it's your atmosphere, it's your partner, it's the people you're around. All of it plays a part in your health journey and getting back on to, into Wellville. And sometimes those people will come with you, they will follow, or they might come at a later time. We've all, somewhere along this journey, have lost family members, lost friends, lost everything since all this has started. But it doesn't mean you've lost them forever. They may just eventually hear the call later, or see the light later, or something like that. And when they do hear that call, or they do see that light, we will be there beaming with open arms and welcoming them, because we're shedding our ego. I don't care what they said to me in the past. It doesn't matter. Everybody here is learning something. Say whatever you want to say. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. When you see the light, you hear the call, I will welcome you with open arms, and I will hug you, and I will say, welcome home. I don't know exactly what I'll say, but it'll be something along those lines, because everything else is just egoic in the first place. So let it go, let it be, let people experience what they need to experience here, and you continue on. And then you just pray that, eventually one day we're all together on this new earth together, or whatever you want to look at it as. And we're all standing at the right-hand side of God as God's children.
Isn't it beautiful what Dave just mentioned? It sounds like a healthy, sacred uncoupling.
Absolutely.
And I really like that. It's the same. I've been through what Katie has been through, and I had both Willem is my husband's name, had to do a lot of growing. And we had been together for almost 20 years, and then separated for 10 years, and have now been married for 10 years. So New Year's Eve, we've known each other for 40 years. And for 40 years, he has been my best friend, my most important person, actually, always in my life. Even the time we were separated, we did stay in touch, but then realized we were just meant to be together. And now we have the most perfect relationship. So, it can go whatever way, it doesn't matter, but he was always my best friend.
When we're talking about the environment that we're living in, and we're talking about our health, and I know, Toni and Sara, that you have mentioned this many, many times, but your environment honestly does play a factor in your health. And so, while for the last 3 years I've been living here trying to, decalcify my pineal gland, trying to become healthy and things like that, my environment here really wasn't allowing that. Well, that made my environment not easy. And when things aren't easy, that's when you have disease, because diseases die easy. And so you have to pay attention to your environment, and that's those people that are around you. That's the physical facility that you're living in or working in. And if it's not helping you, then you're going to have a disease, and you're not going to be able to be healthy. And so being in Mexico, away from all the distractions, away from the temptations, away from people who don't think like I do, or who don't want to go the direction that I want to go with my health and God and things like that. It was just a very eye-opening experience where I could look at it from a different perspective to see how it was affecting my health, whether it was mentally, physically, spiritually, And then when I came back, and Matt and I were, even before I came back, Matt had said, Katie, I think we should file. And I was like, I think you're right. So anyways, but yes. So those who listen to the show, either now or later, the environment really does play a big effect on your health, because anything that isn't easy is disease. So yes.
And I will say the one thing too, that it's not, sometimes like we are also called to stay, and we are called to shine that light, and we are called to grow within that little area, kind of like what they talked about before with yoga. Sometimes they manipulate you into those positions so that you can find the peace in the discomfort, but also still grow and show your light. Think about like if you would have left like immediately a year ago, would it have been like on the same terms as you did now? And also think about all the people that you were able to touch and shine your light, even if they may not have known. Now, I'm not saying anyone should ever stay in a dangerous environment or anything like that, but definitely go within, pray, and do what you're called to do and things like that. But even though that this is becoming an uncoupling, and you always kind of wish the person the best for either any way it goes, to me it's been amazing listening to your journey. And it's like, if anybody does have to go through this, you hope that they can go through the way that you went about it. But the fact that you did stay and you touched your children and the people that you were, I think you were tutoring and stuff like that, or even babysitting, and that you were able to show different things for your husband, I think it's beautiful, because you planted a massive, probably tree before you even left, and they're going to be able to watch this grow. And it's an experience they would have never probably had a part of if you didn't go through this growing. If all that makes sense.
And Sara, you're absolutely right. We all need to do what we are being called to do. So I was called to stay here. For the time that I was here. Absolutely. And some of us will be called to stay no matter what. So it's really important that you listen to yourself within, you listen to, what God is calling you to do, and honor that. So yes, thank you, Sara, so much, because you're absolutely right. Some will be called to stay and some will be called to go, but you have to do your own journey.
Absolutely. And I wasn't saying like that. I mean, you were called to stay in the beginning, and I think it's a beautiful thing that you did. But after you did what you're supposed to do, you still even then realized that it was still time to go on, and you still stayed faithful to the call. So now you're being called to do something else, but yet you've left a beautiful, seed or tree behind for your family. And as if, if you would have left maybe before, maybe you wouldn't have touched them the way that you did. So I think the way you did it, and the way that Dave said, it's a beautiful journey for you to allow us to have followed. I think we are all grateful to have heard your story, and you're an inspiration for a lot of people. And we're just very grateful that you did share this journey with us. And we all wish you the absolute best, and the same thing with your whole entire family.
Well, thank you everyone for being here with me. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And I'm just looking forward to spending more time with each one of you as the future continues.
It will happen, Katie. It definitely will happen. We had Grant on the Zoom, but he disappeared. And we have Lisa here. Lisa, what would you like to share with us?
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Katie, for sharing. I so feel into your story, and I wish you all the best, love. I was just curious if anyone here would happen to know possibly someone in our Freak Sense family, but definitely someone who lives our lifestyle, all of us collectively. I'm looking to move to South Carolina in the Goose Creek area, where my son and, I don't call her daughter-in-law, I call her daughter, and my grandchildren are. And the cost of living there is just so expensive to try to venture on your own. And kind of like what Katie's looking for, I would love to either home share with someone, or, someone that's willing to rent a space for like really reasonable with like everything included. And I'm willing to do anything to help, errands or things around the house or outside. And yeah, it's just really hard to get those outlets. And when you go online to different things, they want like all your personal information and banking and your personal people that you would leave for references. And that's just not landing for me. So I just thought I'd put it out there. If there's anyone that wants to respond, fine. If not, I'm here with all of you. I appreciate all you do, Toni and Sara. And I really appreciate you taking a minute to listen. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Lisa. We have been thinking about that before. That is one of the reasons that I set up that social platform, gardenofeden.social. That is not only on, we have a group on Facebook with that name, but we have, you really have to go to your, into your browser and then type in gardenofeden.social. Now, the site is not as active as I hoped it would be at this time, but this is where we can set up things like that. That is what I did when I built a freaksenseworld.com. It's still active. You can still go there. There are over 8,000 people in there. But after I disconnected from the Freak Sense family, there is not much activity there. And I was thinking, we need to revive that. We have all these like-minded people there. And we can build something where we can connect. I was hoping Garden of Eden would go that direction. And I'm probably right now, I'm the only one posting there. But that you can see who lives where, and you know that the same as on freaksenseworld.com, people are like-minded. They know about the fruitarian lifestyle. They know about the teachings of Charlie. They know about the teachings of God. So there is a ton of valuable information there. And more than 8,000 people. So and you can actually, when you are on that site, and I think it still works on the freaksenseworld.com, when you look at the location where you want to be, then you can see who lives there, who is in that area. Now, we don't even have 100 people in gardenofeden.social, so it wouldn't be working there. But it should still be working like that in a Freak Sense world, because when I did that on my area, I live in Boyto, Florida, Central Florida, I could see, I think, about 30 people who live in my area, who live within, well, less than an hour drive, maybe half an hour drive, quite a few people. And not everybody, some people may just have been curious and don't live the lifestyle, but heck, you can at least find out and see who you can connect with. But that is definitely gardenofeden.social. That was the whole idea to make it work, so that we can build our own little communities, and we don't have to go through all the standard BS and what you just mentioned, Lisa. It's in other ways, if we want to have find a farmer in a certain area where we can find the perfect oranges or mangoes. Right now, there is no store where I can get organic oranges. It's like I go shopping there with somebody who lives there, and it's like, okay, who's the first at the oranges? We can get them all. It's an so I was like, we need to be more active, and we want to help people. Then we all live in different areas of the country. It goes from California, South Carolina, Ohio, Florida, Texas, Louisiana. And if we know somebody who lives there, some farmer who lives in that area, why not make a post about it so others can benefit from it? Invite people. Both websites have the options to invite more people. Although I did close a Freak Sense World for new members, so it's only the old members. Although I can open it up again, but I'd rather see gardenofeden.social grow that way, and that we can help each other out. I know farms here that have a variety of mangoes. For me, they're about 2 hours away, so I don't go there too often because it would be a 4-hour round trip. But if we may know some other people. I even have here locally people that have more mangoes than they can eat. And, you know, they want to sell it or give it away, then we need to share that. So that was for me, the whole setup of Garden of Eden. And I'm thankful, Lisa, that you touched on this again, because this is how that Garden of Eden, that social site is how we can build the communities, how we can help each other. Because like what you said, if you have somebody who is not on your frequency, like-minded, whatever you want to call it, it's kind of difficult, because then you have a disconnect. And it is so beautiful when you have people that you can talk to and you can, you know, share, and not people who would be working against you or call you crazy. You would feel very uncomfortable very fast. So I'm happy you brought that up, Lisa. Thank you.
Thank you, Toni. And sorry to have you repeat. I was trying to jot down a couple things while you were talking. What is it that you do for Garden of Eden Social? I know I tried a few times and it's been a while, so I don't recall, but I ran into like a block both times.
Well, then you have to tell me. And so if there is something that I need to fix, I need to know, because otherwise I wouldn't know. If you have to sign up. It is in a way protected, because I don't want anyone like be able to go there, and they could actually mess up that whole platform. So it is like with everything, you know, YouTube, maybe you always have to sign up, and then you know you have a username, you have a password, and you can come in anytime. But it is, make sure that it is gardenofeden.social.
All lowercase, is it, hun?
All lowercase, yeah.
No space.
Sara, Virtuous Unicorns, just put the link out there in the chat, so you can find it. And I also do have a group that has over 2,000 people on Facebook. It's called the same name. You can find it when you type in gardenofeden.social. Everyone can post there. Everybody who is a member can post there. So maybe you can make what you just shared with us, make a post and post it there. Because I don't think that even people realize you can just post, and it is the same things. I don't want anything, you know, constantly talking about all the political drama and wars. That is not what the site is about. The site is about health, you know, being able to live that beautiful virtuous life in you know, that Sara is talking about, every one of us actually. And yeah, share good news, share animals. I don't care, whatever makes you feel better. Share about, I have shared about, you know, my plants, my fruit trees, actually in a pot. And because I'm not allowed to plant trees here, but my plants are just very smart, so they went through the bottom of the pot and they're still in the ground, but you can't see it.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Toni. I love your Garden of Eden Social on Facebook, and I'm not really a big fan of Facebook. I'm very selective what I participate with, and yeah, your posts on there are always beautiful. I totally love them, and I love almost every single one when I get a chance to view them. And thank you, Sara, for putting in the link. I just came to it, and after the show here, I'll see. Hopefully, I can be successful this time to sign in. Like I said, I'm not sure it's been a while, so I can't give you the exact feedback of what kind of block.
Yeah, what I did on the platform, so that's not on the Facebook group, but on the platform, was I set up a whole bunch of groups and targeted groups. And within these groups, whatever you would share in a group would automatically be shared on the newsfeed. So it's you can always find it, and there is information in there that is always helpful. It's about many different topics, but it's all about, you know, better living. how can we live our lives without outside of the matrix, even so. And if we have to, where we have no choice to be in the matrix and you have to do your job, then there is still information, how you can do it. I mean, my husband has a job, and because of his job, and he actually loves doing it, we can do the things that we are doing. So we're very grateful for that. So I'm not dismissing, this is all in the matrix, and so it's no good. It's still good. It depends on what you do with it.
Thank you so much, Toni. Again, I appreciate all that you all do. And I will.
Thank you, Lisa, for being here.
Oh, you're welcome. I love you guys all so much.
So anybody has any health questions that we need to address? Because it seems everybody is so unbelievably healthy.
That's right. Well, I would like maybe we'll save it for next show though, but I would definitely like to get into I know I've talked about the rainwater drinking, but a step down from that would be the distilled water, or maybe it's a step up. I'm not really sure. But I definitely would like to get into what Lauren Whiteman was talking about with distilled water, and maybe get into that. It would be very interesting.
Yeah, I have this little booklet, and I will make sure that because you just sprung it up on me a minute before we started, I have this little booklet, and that is about distilled water. It goes back maybe 100 years. This guy who wrote it actually had clinics where he fasted people on distilled water, and he talks about the amazing healing properties. And we know there are so many different stories about why you shouldn't drink distilled water, because it takes all the minerals out of your body. That's just such nonsense. But, and Laura Whiteman can, maybe I should invite her here and talk about that.
That'd be really good.
Yeah, well, she has been on the show once when we were talking about pet health. Now we know she is into the natural, what is it called, hygienic?
Yes.
And they are not about herbs. Like herbs are toxic. Well, I'm not convinced that is the case, but so that is not something that, because I do suggest herbs when I talk with my clients and help them with their healing. I have been using them myself, although not actually this year. I have not been using them because I just want to test out, how does it work, and is it work, and can I be my own best what is it, reviews. Everybody always wants to hear, how is somebody doing on this or somebody doing on that, and actually it doesn't matter, because we're all at different levels of health. So how you do it's something, but with water, she knows a lot about it, and I can talk to her and see if she is interested in coming on.
Yeah, that'd be great. I posted her link of the article I was reading about it too, if anyone wants to read it ahead of time, but it would be something I'd like to dive further into. Yeah,
it's I drink distilled water. I've been using it for my teas for years, and I have a distiller, and these things are not expensive. There's absolutely no reason to not buy a distiller, because they're under $100. And I've used mine for probably 4 or 5 years until it says, okay, I'm done. So I got another one for $85. And it's, and I do still, I have a whole house, what is it?
Water filtration.
Thank you. And still that water goes into another filter, and then it goes into the distiller, and now we find that we distill water, the distiller stays absolutely clean.
That's gone.
So that whole house water filter takes out a lot of junk.
That's good. Yeah, we have really hard water here too. I think all of Ohio is that way, but it's very hard water. So we need like a water softener, then water purification, then distilling. So it's like a whole process that has to go through.
That is actually, maybe I should find a link for the water distiller that we have. I'm actually very happy with it. It's amazing that how clean the water is just coming from the tap. I can actually drink the water from the tap.
That would be good.
Yeah, and
Please
I'm
share that.
extremely sensitive to smells and taste, and it easily burns in my mouth. So then, I don't drink it. But now it is amazing. It has no any specific taste to it. There's no smell. But yeah, we can sell it softer because when you wash your hands with soap, then you kind of feel like the soap is still on there while your hands are clean.
Yes.
My reason for doing that was more because my laundry was not smelling right. So I was actually washing my clothes in that dirty city water.
Oh, geez.
And even if I don't do the dishwasher much, but if I do, it is washed in that dirty water, and then it's heated to dry it. So I stopped using the drying pot and just let it air dry. But still, and I didn't like the smell of my clothes. So that was actually my main reason. So now my clothes don't smell anymore. And it did make the water softer. So there isn't salt section in it. But I did research, and it seemed that by the time that you get to the water, the salt amount is so minuscule, so they say. But I haven't noticed anything, with it. And besides, other than that, it's for drinking, it's still going to be distilled.
Yes.
So I have these glass containers, like 2-gallon containers. I have them in my guest room. I have them in my office, in my kitchen. So water is always, right there.
Prevalent in there. Dave asked a question. Is that a reverse osmosis whole house filter, or is there actually a distilled whole house water filter out there?
Yeah, there isn't. Distilled whole house water filter. You wouldn't want to do
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, well, but
I guess you don't need to shower in distilled water or wash your clothes in distilled water. But
yeah, you know what? The reverse osmosis, there is a whole house reverse osmosis, but it wastes so much water. When the first time I looked at that was already years ago, and they said it wastes 5 waters to get one gallon of reverse osmosis water, and we are paying here for the water, but we say that we use a certain amount of water for getting it in, then you pay for that same amount of water getting down the drain. So how if you would waste even 3 gallons of waters, it adds up. It really adds up. So the water filter that we have now doesn't do it. And I had many people over here to advise me about what to do. And this one came out, and it had the lowest price too. It was $2,500. And that seemed like a lot of money, but you're talking about your health. In wearing clothes or eating from plates that have been washed with dirty city water, I think it still affects your health. And sleeping on sheets that were washed in that dirty water didn't make me feel good. And especially that smell. If you smell it, then it's there,
And you can smell chlorine coming from our house. We're tapped into city water, but we have filters on our shower, and then we filter our water through a Berkey, but we still do need to get a distiller. We're supposed to expect some rain coming soon within the next week, and we do have metal roof on our barn. So I'm going to collect rainwater, and I'm going to try washing our clothes in the rainwater, because I also have a wringer washer, like the ones from the 1950s, the Maytag. And so I'm going to use that to wash our clothes in and see what that's like. And I'm also I've been collecting the Buckeyes, which are called horse chestnuts too. We talked about that, making your own laundry soap before. So they're called Buckeyes here, but they're called horse chestnuts in other states or even other places around the country. And you can make your laundry soap out of that. So I was going to try my hand at that the next time it rains, hopefully over the weekend, and see how my clothes turn out with rainwater and Buckeyes or horse chestnut laundry soap and see what that's like.
Yeah, that would be great. This is the kind of stuff that we need to share on Garden of Eden, both on the platform and in the group, in the Facebook group.
Absolutely.
And this is information that needs to come out. And when we realize, we don't need to buy all that expensive stuff. And even I use the soap nuts. I mean, you can reuse them. It is, there are so many ways. There really are.
There really are. Katie said her school had one of those old washing machines. I absolutely love using it. And I swear the clothes are just cleaner. And it's not like it agitates. Like I don't have to sit there and use a washboard. But yeah, I do. Even if I pull my clothes out of the regular washer, I still pull them all out individually, shake them, and then throw them in a dryer. But with this, you just put them through the ringer and then you can hang them on the clothesline. They're so dry when they go through the ringer. When they come out, it doesn't even take long. And I don't know, I love doing it. I love the sound of it. And I don't know, it's just something I really enjoy doing. So it's really neat. I got it for my birthday a few years back.
Nice.
I was like, yep, we're going to get this. And everybody already thinks I'm weird anyway. So when people see me outside doing stuff, they don't even look anymore.
Yeah. Now, Dave, did you get your question answered? Because you put Toni in a question mark there, but
yeah, I think it was a question for you, is what he was saying, talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely let's try to get Lauren on next week. And see, the other part I was going to say about that is, even though they don't believe in using herbs, I'm open to herbs 100%. Like, I believe what Dr. Morse says and everything like that. But I think it just is where you are on your health journey. Like, how urgent do you need it? And I think herbs do help speed the healing process up for us. Whereas if you are pretty far along on your health journey, then maybe you don't need the herbs. You can just kind of continue to go through, naturally and, using the foods and allowing your body to. But if
absolutely.
you need like a little shot of speed, then you're going to need your herbs maybe.
True. And I want to touch on that because there is something going on. And we've been talking about that before. Dr. Morse sold the part of the herbs, sending them out and selling them, sending them out. It was getting too big. And he mentioned that in one of his latest videos. You can find his videos at drmorse, MORSE.tv. His whole YouTube channel was deleted. What is happening now, there is a lot of advertising that you see, and I got one this morning in text because I signed up for that to see what they are doing, and they actually offered a 15% discount when you do repeat orders every month, and then you get a discount on that. Herbs are never been made to use long-term. It is not like with pharmaceuticals, and often even what people do with their vitamins, like using them for years at a time. That's what I did with all the vitamins and the minerals. It didn't help one bit. It was actually working against my health. But we have been so indoctrinated that, you need to your B12, your D3, your K2, your minerals, your vitamin C's, etc. Because otherwise, you're not going to make it. Well, I almost didn't make it, and I was using all of them. The multivitamins, all the minerals, different varieties, the calcium, magnesium, and because I wasn't drinking milk, so I had to use calcium. And you know what? 10 years ago, I twisted my leg and my femur broke in midair. I didn't even fall. It was broken before I fell. That is in what a bad shape my body was. And no, I wasn't on a super acidic diet, and it wasn't even a standard American diet. But those vitamins and minerals and all those supplements, they never helped anybody. So when I see that somebody is using a marketing system now to get more people buying more long term by giving them a discount, I don't like it. So please never fall for anything like that. If you are on a protocol, and when you work with me and I write you a protocol, and you have certain things that you want to heal, and you're on the diet with the herbs, and then we use them up to 4 months, not longer. And if one says like, okay, but after a month, you want to stop for 2, 3, or 4 weeks, maybe even, and pick up the herbs, then again, it's always short term, never long term. So, be aware of that when you see, because right now I see the ads all over Facebook. And this morning it was about the blood formula. And I'm like, when you don't need it, why would you use it? It's very specific for, certain areas and certain, it's never, herbs are never symptom specific, no doubt.
Yep.
Nature, God didn't create like, okay, you have diabetes, now you need to take that herb. That's not how herbs were, developed, created for us to use. It is, if you have diabetes, some part of your body is not working 100%, and you first start with changing your diet, and then you can add some herbs to help you along. But what I see happening now, it's like, yeah, you know what, you just stay on the diet that you are, and you add the herbs, and then you're good to go. It is not happening. Don't fool yourself.
You're wasting your money.
Yeah, well, that is a big thing. Don't waste your money. But I do understand, where they are coming from. They are an herbal company. They need to sell. They cannot tell you like, okay, your diet comes first, and then then the herbs. They are an herbal company. They need to sell. So I can see that standpoint, and I feel it's up to us to educate people further that diet always comes first. If you don't change your diet, don't waste your money on herbs or anything. If you are like, transitioning and slowly changing your diet, and you realize what you need to do, changing your life, what we started this podcast with, enjoying your life, and then it all comes together. And then, use the Heal All tea, start cleaning out your GI tract, your gut, but not for, I see people like, yeah, now everything, my digestive system works great. I've been using it for 2 years, and I'm like, well, that doesn't sound right, because after 3 or 4 months, you should have healed. And if you didn't heal, you're not on the right diet. You're not doing the things the right way. Or maybe you're a very negative and depressed person, and you're not healing. So there is so much more
There is a lot.
that is part of it. So I always offer people to, connect with me. We can have a free chat, doesn't cost you anything. If you want to know more and work with me, because, doctors already said they cannot help you, or you already figured out yourself you weren't helped, then you can set up a consultation with me. And it's not, that it is super expensive. I think people spent more on the stuff that they had to pay for the pharmaceuticals, and the copay for the allopathic industry. So yeah.
And the only thing we're asking you to do, we're not asking you to go under the knife, not asking you to take chemo. We're not asking you to do any of those things other than eat some fruit and take your herbs, ground, walk around barefoot, hug a tree, get some sunlight, meditate, change your environment to be positive. To me, that would be the first path I would want to take, rather than go to a doctor, go through chemo, possibly lose your hair, get super sick, go through dialysis and all that other stuff, and then be like, well, none of that worked, so now let me go try the fruit. Maybe try the fruit path first, and let's see where that gets you. Because if you're already coming with a beat down body that's been through chemo and all this other stuff through the allopathy, it's going to be a much harder fight than if we just get to you first and we start allowing your body to do what God intended your body to do, which is heal. And your body is in a 24-hour day, 365 days a year healing process. That's all your body does, heal. If you get cut, it heals. If you get a broken bone, the bones heal back together. Even your nerves are trying to heal from nerve damage over all the years or anything. Everything is in a constant state of healing. So get out of the way of the body and allow the body to take over and take no thought. Allow the body to do. So with all that said, I already see we are past the hour.
And with all that said, we would say thank you all for being here. We love it. We absolutely, it's a joy being here for you. And actually, it helps us. We always learn something.
Mm-hmm.
And much love to you. I'll do my best to see if Lauren is available next week.
Absolutely.
And have her on. We also have Detox Dex soon coming on when he can be here at this specific time and talking about his next detox plan. He has a whole program.
Awesome.
And I think he does it the right way. He's also a Dr. Morse practitioner, so he knows the right way.
Great.
And till the next time.
Looking forward. And thank you, Katie and Lisa, for calling in. And thank you all for being in the chat. We have so much love for you all.
Till the next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.